go. Like a herd of turtles, we are off, aren't we, Menko? We got about an hour and a half, and we're just doing a normal campground camp tonight. It's the poop and go. I think she might have found her happy spot in the rear footwell there. She's getting a lot faster at adapting to being in the car. The first time we took her on a trip, it took like 2 hours. The second time, it was probably about an hour. And this time it only seems to have taken about 15 minutes for her to settle down and get used to it. So I think that's a lot of improvement. Maybe I spoke a little too early. She is still a little restless, but let me tell you where we're going. We're actually going to a campground I've been to before, but it looked a little bit different last time I was there. Let me show you. This looks like a beautiful campground. I'll have to return here when I can actually get up here. Yeah, as you can see outside, it is not snowy this time, and we're gonna try and get up there in the old Oldsmobile. I think the roads are pretty well maintained, but there's only one way to find out, really. We've got just about an hour left. Well, I didn't have any breakfast, so I stopped to grab some crackers and a kombucha out of the trunk, so I'm gonna be munching on that during the last 45 minutes of the drive. We got 11 miles till our last town of Farmington, and then we're gonna be heading up into the hills. I put all of my spare outerwear back there specifically for her because it'll smell like home and it'll also be nice and soft, and apparently it's working. That's where she's decided to settle down, so good for her. And we've made it to Farmington. So Google's telling us to go straight here, but the correct way is to go left. There's our sign. And we have also already hit gravel. Fortunately, these old cars are just naturally a lot more capable off-road than modern like econo boxes and that sort of thing. So I'm not worried about gravel, but I don't know what condition the roads are in once we get closer to the campground. And we've just entered Idaho, according to Google. Because we're doing a campground camp tonight, we might be sharing this campground with someone, and they're gonna be pretty confused when I pull up in this thing after driving about 14 miles on gravel roads, and then a cat jumps out. But hey, you can't worry too much about what other people think, right? It looks like they've had a grader and maybe even a gravel truck down here recently. So far, it's been buttery smooth. Few switchbacks. The transmission isn't always wanting to downshift when it needs to. It's mildly concerning. So far, this single lane road here has been pretty well maintained as well. When I drove up here last time, it really did seem like sort of a type of thing where someone should be able to bring their Toyota Camry up. There's like info signs that you can stop and take a look at, stuff like that. Now that we're going a little slower, Menko's come out to look around. The fact that there are just people camping alongside the road here makes me a little nervous. We'll have to see if the campground's full or not. This is called Skyline Drive for very good reason. It says we have 4 miles until the campground I want to stay in. When we get there, I'll have to stop and show you where I camped in the Volvo when it was covered in snow. And of course, if you haven't seen that video, I think it's pretty good. You might go check it out. So far, the Olds is handling the gravel roads great, and they've been pretty well maintained. Why we're up here. The views are incredible over the plains. She has rejected my chats. She's being such a good girl back there. So cute. Yeah, this is definitely where I camped in the Volvo in the snow. I camped way down there, or backed all the way down there, so I would stay out of sight of the cars on the road. What do you think, Menko? All right, we got just under 2 miles to go. I think I'm gonna have to come out here again in the winter. It's kind of the perfect area that doesn't get too much snow, but it gets enough snow to be fun. We'll have to bring the Volvo or the Subaru out here and see where we can camp. Right at this corner right here is where I decided I needed to turn around in the Volvo, and if you watch that video, you know that just up here around the next corner is where the campground is. I didn't know that when I stopped, of course. Oh yeah, there are a few people up here. Let's see, I think that this one up here is the last one on the loop. Yeah, this one doesn't have a campfire. Hi, kitty, who's a good girl. I just need to clip you up. Okay, come on. There you go. We're here. Here's her setup. She got a string going from the seatbelt in here so she can use the restroom. Going over to the picnic table. I believe she can get close to the fire when we get that started so she can stay warm. You a happy kitty? Yeah. Okay, Menko, I need to go pay. So you're gonna have to hang out in here for a few minutes. Well, I looked for a board and I couldn't find one, so I asked another camper that happened to be hanging out in camp, and apparently this campground is free, so that's a bonus there. We've got our facilities, and our camp is just right over there. She can be free! What are you doing in there? Now, isn't that just majestic, Menko? What are you doing? You getting a fire pit ready? Menko has settled herself on the rear shelf of the Oldsmobile to get her daily 20 hours of napping. Well, it's getting to be about 3:30, so I figure we better get the fires going so we can have dinner at a reasonable time. And we're going to be trying to light it with these things, which I have no idea how old these are. I just found them in the back of this car when I inherited it from my grandpa. Remove the upper lid to expose the scratched surface on the lower cap. Oh. Here we go, we got our scratch surface. Let's see if these things are still any good. Apparently someone had a bad run-in with their tent, so we've got these fiberglass poles for fire sticks. Well, I would say that worked pretty well. Honestly, probably a little too well. It's still burning. Now that we got the fire going, I might as well have a beer. I've got myself an Iron Goat Brewing Co. Goatmeal Stout. I used to go here all the time in college, and this is one of my all-time favorite beers. Well, I just checked the hourly forecast, and it says it might rain later in the evening, so might as well throw the rain fly on the tent. Well, it's getting to be about 6 o'clock, so I figure it's time to knock the fire apart and get some hot dogs going, because that's what we're having tonight, some hot dogs and hot sauce. These are my favorite kind of sticks, just because they're so lightweight, so tiny, but they actually still work really well. These things are definitely still frozen, so we're going to see how this goes. I grabbed hamburger buns instead of hot dog buns. Oh, man. All right, I think we're done here. I'm going to try to do these hamburger buns kind of like a hot dog bun. Tonight we've got some Heartbeat hot sauce camp sauce. I like this stuff a lot. I want to try and eat this without making too much of a mess. Oh, God. Maybe it's time to move the mic. All right, I'm going to make one more of those, and then I'm going to call it quits on the ham dogs. Hot burgers? No, burgers are usually hot. I think it's got to be ham dogs. Fortunately, the next two courses are pretty hard to mess up. We got some lime Cheetos and some pretzel M&Ms. It's raining, kitty. There you go. Yeah. Well, I didn't really think it was going to be raining tonight, but I guess we're going to find out how Menko does with that. You happy to be in the tent? Did you miss the tent? She likes the tent. I don't know why, but she likes the tent. You're a good girl. Yeah? Yeah. She's under the blanket now. We thought it started raining, so we'd climb in here and stay dry, and The season 51 premiere of SNL comes on in about an hour at 8:30, so I'll watch that when it comes on, and we can stay nice and cozy. Isn't that right, kitty? Considering we're going to be in here for a little extra long since we went to bed early, I did end up bringing the litter box and her water in here. That just gives her a little peace of mind, as well as me a little peace of mind that I won't wake up to a nice little present. And speaking of which, she just made a beeline for the litter box, so it's still hard to get any privacy, isn't it, kitty? Oh, there's no litter on the side of the litter box. Oh, whoa, that was sort of coordinated. All right, I'm gonna watch some videos, catch SNL, and roll over.
And live from New York, it's
Saturday! Oh, I guess I was tired because I just fell asleep like halfway through the episode, so I'll have to watch that when I get home, but I'm gonna get the rest of the way to sleep here, and so I'll see you tomorrow morning. Good night. Oh, somehow I managed to sleep till 9 a.m. Guess I ought to get out of here and have breakfast, Menko. It's time for your breakfast too, isn't it? Man, according to my watch, I slept for 10.5 hours. That's probably one of my favorite things about camping. I get a good night's sleep. Let's get your harness on and we'll get out of here, okay? There you go. What do you think, kitty? Are you going back to bed? Man, I also forgot to mention the neighbors had their generator running and were hollering at their dogs at 6 in the morning. That was really nice. This breakfast might have been lazy, but man, was it good. Well, I guess we're gonna get out of here. We are gonna check out a few more of the landmarks around here, and there is not a fire lookout, but a crow's nest up there that I tried to find last time, but now that the weather's nicer, I'm gonna go take a look for it again. I was talking to another guy and he said the views from some of the other campgrounds were really good, so we're gonna go check those out as well. There you go. This road right here is the one that I walked down when there was quite a bit of snow on the ground. You looking around, kitty? All right, kitty, I'm gonna go look for the crow's nest. You can hang out here for a little bit. I'll be right back. Yeah, I couldn't see any remnants of a crow's nest still, so I think this one is just gone. Now we're gonna head over to Iron Mountain Campground and see what there is to see over there. We could have camped up here if we had wanted, but even though it's higher in elevation, the views are not near as good due to all the trees. What you doing? Climbing up, we're just about to the campground. We'll take a look around. Menko, what have you done? Oh my goodness, she does not want to leave. Come on, we're heading out, kitty. No. Stay. I think she could have looked around here forever, but we have places to be, so I guess we'll get on the road for home here. Won't we, Menko? There's a happy kitty. Is just beautiful up here. I just think that this state park here in kind of middle of nowhere Idaho is such a hidden gem. I mean, yeah, there's people up here, but it's not slammed like a lot of state parks or national parks. The main thing that's broken on this car right now is the AC, but fortunately in the shoulder season here, it's been plenty cool outside to just leave the vent on. What's funny is that I actually made a bed for her on the way down here, and she didn't use it, so I piled it up with crap, and of course now that it's piled up with crap, she's like, oh yeah, this is a good bed. Just cat things, am I right? And we're back to pavement. All right, Menko, just an hour till we get home. It is interesting, she's just gotten so much better at adapting to being in the car. She complained for about a half hour, it wasn't too extreme though, and then today when we get back in the car, she's just like, okay. She's even cleaning herself right now, so she's a pretty happy camper. Are you going in my drone? Can you not go in my drone bag, please? Thank you. What's so funny is that my family, all of them really dislike this car, and I think it's because back when my grandpa bought it almost 25 years ago now, it really was kind of a POS. But because he did such a good job of maintaining it and keeping it in good shape, it really now has become a classic car actually, and people think it's cool. I've always thought it was cool initially just because it's kind of funny. It's, you know, really bouncy and just like driving a couch down the freeway, but now that it's gotten even older, because I grew up with this car, now that it's gotten even older, I really think it's actually super cool. Like, no one preserved these, no one thought to, and well, it means that I now have a super unique car. Is it just riding so smooth that you thought we might have stopped? Well, as we roll through Fairfield here, we just got about a half hour left. And we're rolling back into civilization. We're gonna head up the touchless car wash and then head for home. Well, as I sit here waiting to get wet through the aging door seals, I implore you to subscribe if you enjoyed watching the video and hit the like button as well. And leave a comment down below if you want to share my excitement for camping with Menko the cat and for this car. It did so well this weekend. I'm gonna get home, get the car unloaded, and I will see you again next week. I just got blasted. Are you a fan of the car wash experience, kitty? Do you know where we are? Yeah, let me get your leash and we'll get you inside. There you go. There she goes. She walked all the way from her car on her own. See you next week.